We're 2.5 hours into trading. It is Friday, June 25th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at yesterday's pick. Want to take a look at what the market is doing. Then I want to see if I can find anything that looks good today. First of all, FSLY. Video came out about here 2 hours after the open yesterday, about $60.50. Yes, the stock has been back there. I have not seen the follow through buying that I would like today. However, stock still looks good on a daily basis. You can see that nice gradual upward sloping trend line through the 50-day moving average, filled in the gap right here. I still think this stock goes higher. Beautiful little horizontal resistance right there. We're through that level. Yes, it's creeping higher. I like FSLY. Let's take a look at the market. Market's a little bit more problematic for us from a trading standpoint because it's not going anywhere. Think back a week ago. What was happening last Friday? The market was falling apart. We had quadruple witching. We were in a steady downtrend all day with the market closing below a critical support level, that being the 50-day moving average. Put up that daily chart, put up the 50-day moving average, and you can see we closed below it. Every time we've touched that level, yes, the market has instantly bounced right back. But what happens after that? Then we get into this slow little grind right here. Tiny, tiny little bodied candles. The volume falls off. There's nothing going on. This is like a slingshot. So yes, we are gapping to a new all-time high today, but there is nothing going on. And we've seen selling pressure at that all-time high. There's nothing that tells me that we are going to blow through that and break out. There's nothing that's changed. Fundamentally, there's no big macro news, economic news, earnings, Fed policy. There's none of that going on right now. I still feel that we are going to continue to just chop around in this trading range. The first time that I think the bid might strengthen would be next week when we have some end of month fund buying, and that might last into the first week of July. But then things kind of settle down for another week or so as earnings season approaches and we get within that 2-week window before earnings season. That's when I think we might have a chance to inch through and break out through the all-time high. But then once earnings are done with in mid-August or so, I think the market's going to chop around and flatline again. I just don't see that catalyst. The exception to that would be if earnings come out incredibly, incredibly strong. Economic numbers recently, they've been okay. They haven't been fantastic. Big expectations are priced in right now, and they've come in under those expectations. So on a trading basis, we still need to be cautious. Look at how tight the trading range was yesterday. Once that range was established for the day, in the first hour of trading, we stayed in it the rest of the day. Same thing today. We established the high, there's the low, we've got some support down in there. I think the market's going to kind of muddle around today. I'm not looking for any big moves. So that means we need to trim our size and we need to trim our trade count and we need to wait for those bullish 10P crosses. Right here, we had a 10P rally early in the day that told us we could be long in here, especially with a couple of long tails under body. The gap was holding. That was a good sign. We had 10P working in our favor. This is where you could have tried some longs, a couple of tails above body, wicks on these candles, bearish 10P cross right in here. That tells us should be taking profits on your longs, should be playing it safe. Get a nice little market drop in here. Bullish 10P cross right about in here. Okay, this is a time when we can reload some of our stocks that have extreme volume, relative strength, and technical breakouts, of which there have been many. SPCE being the most notable because a lot of traders have been on that one today. DDD has been another strong one. In any event, I think we're going to start to quiet down today. We're going to be looking for stocks that have some consistency, and the best way to trade this right now, is to wait for those market dips and to watch for those stocks that are able to hold the bid and even tick higher when the market is coming in. When the market bounces, those stocks will continue higher. So you need to be very, very patient on a day like this. In general, swing trading, I wouldn't be doing a whole lot of it up here. I think the market's going to go sideways and you have the chance for a pullback in here anytime. Day trading has actually been very good. So we're going to go into some of our searches. We're going to take a look for stocks that might be setting up. I'm going to give you a bullish pick today. So I'm going to go into my heavy buying list. We'll take a look at stocks that are on this list. A lot of really nice looking stocks. Some of them, like Nike, absolutely blowing through horizontal resistance. I like this. I think Nike could perform well. Big gap up after earnings, been able to hold most of those gains. I can't chase it right here, but I do want to see what the stock does in subsequent trading days. I'm going to drop a couple of lines here. I'm going to drop a GTC alert at the low and at the high, and I'm going to move on. SPCE, I can't chase it here, but yes, this morning there were lots of great opportunities to take this stock. Massive, massive volume, big news. You can see that gap higher. Stock pulls back briefly once it took out this prior high, and I'm not using that tail. I'm just looking at that opening price there and the closing price there. That was a resistance level. You had heavy volume. Now we start stacking long green candles. Yes, there's a nice move right in here that you could have taken advantage of. But this is not going to be my pick of the day because it has run so far. How would I trade this stock right now? Well, we can see on a 5-minute chart that the market has been pretty decent. It's been flat, but the stock is coming in. So if you think that there's a chance for an afternoon rally, you click alert, you click that high bar right there, you click that one. As the stock continues to come down and come down, that line will also come down. So you don't buy it here and you don't say, oh, look, there's support. This is great. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. It's going to start moving higher here. No, we're not seeing that. The market's been holding its own pretty well. We've got some profit taking coming in here. Draw this line, let it come in. When you get an alert, it'll be a pop-up alert in Option Stalker, and it'll say, hey, that downward sloping trend line has been breached to the upside. Then you put up your 1 OSI indicator, and you look for that orange line to be above zero. It's below zero. It is weak relative to the market. You might think, oh, this is a nice little entry point right in here. And look, I've got support and I can keep a tight stop. When this thing falls, it could fall 50 cents, a dollar in a heartbeat. Why take that risk? Just draw that line. Once it's breached, you'll get the pop-up. Then you can evaluate it. Also, you don't know if the market's going to come in. We do have 1OP trending a little bit lower here. The market could pull back. It's very likely to because we have a double top, lower high, and we're probably going to test this support level. Yesterday, I'd mentioned to you in my video, 1, 2, 3 levels of support here. I'd mentioned to you that sometime through the course of the day, I feel that this support level is going to be tested and it's probably going to be breached because there are sell stop orders here. Anyone that bought right in here is going to place their sell stop order. Well, look, I have an alert line right there, and I'm expecting that this is going to be tested and that this gap will fill at some point. Also, this is a gap that needs to be filled. We've got a couple tails under body here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to drop an alert line right here. I want to know when that alert line is breached. So those are things that I'm going to be looking for if we take out this low. We've got 1, 2, 3 lines of support. There will be some sell stops that are triggered there. If they get going, we will fill in that gap. And because this gap is pretty close to the low from the prior day, who knows, we could even continue to fill in some of this gap. Do I expect it to happen today? This low could be tested, but I doubt that we get all the way down here. I think there's too much strength. There's just not a lot of momentum either way. So I'm not looking for any big moves today. Let's continue to take a look at what's performing well. We're going to go down the list just like I would. We'll start with a daily chart because we want to make sure that the stock looks good on a daily basis before we take any day trades or very short-term overnight swing trades. Nice here, double bottom, higher low, decent relative strength for Netflix through the 200 day, through the 100 day. Looks good. I hate this. Look at this back and forth chop. There's noise, there's no momentum in there. Very random trading. BIDU, double bottom, higher low, 1, 2, 3 lines of support. This is all nice through the 200 day and the 50 day. Yeah, looks pretty good. Continue to go down. BABA, double bottom, higher low. Lots of things that I like here. However, the overall chart is super weak. QQQ, new all-time high. S&P 500, all-time high today. Why would I want to be in a stock like this? What has this got? Nothing. This is a Chinese stock. And look at these. Chinese, 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 Chinese. Go right down the list. Lots of Chinese stocks finding a bid today. When you trade these types of stocks, this could be nothing more than a head fake. Yes, we like to buy low and sell high, but if you're buying weakness like this, these little bounces can be nothing more than a short covering bounce, and then the stock reverses and it goes right back down again. So you don't want to be caught in that trap. If you were buying right here and you like this little breakout here, then you would be more vulnerable to a pullback like that because you don't have that second support level to really lean on. But now you do have a double bottom higher low, so that's nice. And you can see, what did I do? How am I trading this? How am I approaching this? JD, I clicked GTC, clicked on that resistance level right there. If it can get through that resistance, it's probably got a decent chance to go to the 100-day moving average. I use alert lines extensively, and I use them on a good till cancel basis when I'm looking at a daily chart because I don't care if that alert triggers tomorrow or a week from tomorrow or 3 weeks from now. When that price point is breached, I want to know about it because this is significant and it tells me at very least I could have a good day trade setting up. So as I click through this list and I look at some of these stocks, I know that Chinese stocks have been very, very weak, so I'm going to bring up the FXI. What is the Chinese market doing anyway? That would be a pretty good question to ask yourself. Certainly an astute trader would do that. FXI, it is down. It was in bear market territory. It started to come off of that low. So China's market starting to improve, double bottom, higher low, FXI through the 50-day moving average, through the 200-day moving average as well. So it is starting to improve. Before I really get aggressive with it, there's resistance, there's horizontal resistance. That would put us through the 100-day moving average. This would be more significant to me, and this would tell me that I might have a longer term play on China. So I'm going to click GTC. I'm going to click right on that bar, and look how it extends through the 100-day moving average. So now I've gotten through this horizontal resistance. I'm going to click one more because I like to have as many warnings as I can. Get that warning. Oh, could be some plays in Chinese stocks. Get through that one. Now we've got follow through and a good chance to have some runners. So when you're trading stocks that have been weak relative to our market, you want to make sure that you've got some lines of support here. Again, really nice here. You get in, you think, oh, this is it. We're off to the races. FXI, not so fast. Now, in the second pullback, you get this higher low double bottom. That gives me even greater confidence. And now I know that it's through those major moving averages. I've got an upward sloping trend line that I can draw on a GTC basis. Also good to have because when I get that alert, whether it's a month or 2 or 3 from now, it's going to continue to extend higher. So FXI, pretty encouraging through that 200-day moving average. I don't think our market is going to make a new high until China's market can start to get through some of this resistance. China is the growth engine for the world. We need to see their economy doing extremely well. Right now we have supply disruptions, we have bottlenecks. Just an interesting fact that I read the other day, containers, ship containers. They used to rent for about $1,600 a day. Now they're going for $11,500 a day. There aren't any containers. Containers that are full of product, ready to ship, are being unloaded because there's a higher bidder coming in. Mattel and Hasbro sitting on mountains of toys that they do not believe are going to get delivered by Christmas. This is one tiny example of a broader problem that's going on. That's why China's market is down. And until some of these supply disruptions and bottlenecks are resolved, I think it's going to keep economic growth slower than everybody is expecting. So I hope that they can resolve those issues. We'll see. Just watch FXI and then you'll have a decent idea when our market might start to take off. So let's get back to the pick of the day. I have a few of them here. I've got Baidu. Okay, that's kind of nice. That's got a long way to run to get to that 100-day moving average, but you can see some fits and stops along the way. Is this another one? It could be. So I would rather see something with better strength. I don't need to pick the absolute bottom. I want to make sure that I'm not trading dead wood. The best way is to make sure that it already has that nice upward momentum and that it's been able to break through some of those resistance levels. Alibaba. That's a little bit nicer. That's got a little bit of punch to it. Got those lows right in here. We've got this nice horizontal resistance that it's been able to move through. We've visually got this beautiful downward sloping trend line right here that's been breached to the upside. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. Well, let's go down and see if we've got any others. Ah, yeah, I like that one. That's your pick of the day. BILI. When FXI has been floundering around and struggling, you can see consistent higher lows being formed. You can see how it easily broke through the 100-day moving average. Decent volume starting to come into it, nice relative strength, and here we go. Now we're through horizontal resistance. This is the kind of stock that you want to look for. So you don't need to be picking bottoms here and here and here. You need to be waiting for that support to form. When you've got this type of weakness, it takes a very long time for that bid to grow. This tells you there are problems. The big money is out of the stock and it's not looking to get back into it in any significant way. Downward sloping trend line. Okay, breach to the upside, 50-day holding. Now we're through the 100-day. Nice, steady upward price action. Good relative strength. Excellent volume. But look there. See, the stock looked good. It had two good bars on the open, and now it's starting to flounder around. You've got relative weakness in here. Yeah, I don't know about this pick. Well, what you would do is you would draw a downward sloping trend line, and then you'd be alerted when it's broken. In this particular case, you've got the stock making a higher low, double bottom. Okay, well, that's kind of nice. And I would want to try and get through this resistance level here. So you would click alert. Let's drop that alert line. Now, if the stock breaks that alert line, I know that it might be time for me to take a position. And this would be a stock that I would look to trade today. This would be a stock that I'm looking to maybe carry an overnight swing position in. It's not one that is so far out of the gate that I feel like it's overextended. Those are the stocks that if the market does fail are going to pull back very quickly. These stocks that have been laggards tend to hold their bid pretty well because they've got a lot of room to run. So that's why I'm focusing. We've got SPCE above a trend line. Remember, I had mentioned to you how I drew that trend line. Well, that's how you would get your alert. Got the market a little bit strong in here. Stock looks okay. Now what do? I'm not going to trade it because I'm recording a video. So I'm going to drop another alert line. And I'll keep dropping alert lines and it'll keep reminding me that the stock is actually looking pretty decent. Back to BILI, we had really decent volume in here. There's your previous volume. Let's go into a 15-minute chart and you can see tiny, tiny, tiny little volume in here. Not much going on. Nice, big, beefy volume. Big volume, relative strength, technical breakouts on a daily basis. You must have those three ingredients for any trade that you consider. And if you look at my videos day after day after day after day, you'll notice the consistency that we have. That's because we're extremely selective. The more check boxes we mark, the higher our probability of success. You don't rush into stocks, you wait for the right setup. BILI is your stock of the day. You don't need to rush in and buy it now. You've got the market flatlining in here. 10P might have a bullish cross in here. We'll see what happens with it. We know that the market's going to be in a fairly tight trading range. Expiration Friday, we like to find lotto trades in the last half hour of trading. We'll see if we've got some of those opportunities today. That's where we buy options that are going to expire in the last hour of trading, that are trading for pennies or nickels, and we look to sell them for dimes or quarters. We're usually able to find quite a few of those trades. SPCE looks pretty good. It's on my radar now because I've gotten that alert. Now I can just watch it relative to the market. Here we go. We had a red bar right here for the S&P 500, green bar for SPCE. Little red bar right here. Let's see if it can hold the bid. If we get the market coming in, coming in, coming in, and the stock is able to hold this support level very, very well, then I can feel pretty confident that this is a bullish flag. There's your flagpole. There's your downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside. Market comes in, get that bullish 10P cross, start to see a bullish engulfing pattern, bullish hammer, anything to tell me that market support is intact, then I can feel pretty good about buying a stock like SPCE and taking some profits along the way on the way up. Even though it is a rocket today, the stock has relative strength and it's got lots of buyers. So be patient, wait for your setups. When you get all the check boxes marked, then you can take a trade. So let's see if we take out this low of the day. Now, I'm going out on a limb on this. So this is a low probability prediction. I think we're going to take out this low of the day today. I think we're going to fill in some of this gap. I feel like the greater pain is on the downside because there are a lot of bullish speculators in the market right now. And I feel like everybody is looking for a breakout to a new high. 1, 2, 3 lines of support, buy or stop, excuse me, sell stops down here that can be triggered. Not looking for a big breakdown and then a meltdown and oh my gosh, we fill in this gap today. No, I think what will probably happen is you'll get a long red bar that comes in, we fill in the gap, and then we start grinding back higher and we close very close to what the opening price was today. So see what happens in the market today. See how accurate my evaluation of the market was. Everything starts with the market. Market first, market first, market first. If I'm trading Chinese stocks, why wouldn't that rule apply? You better dang well know what the FXI has been doing and what the Chinese market has been doing before you blindly go in and buy these Chinese stocks. Now that I know Chinese market has been weak, back above the 200-day moving average, I am eyes wide open knowing exactly what the risks to the trade are, and I'm looking for the best Chinese stock to trade. I like BILI. Think that's a nice one. I did run across JD as well. That also looks nice. Look at that relative strength. Very, very nice today. Daily chart. Got this alert line already set and waiting to be triggered. Have a great weekend, everybody. Please leave your comments and questions. You know I'll reply to them, and it motivates me. It's what keeps me going. Thank you. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.